Hello everyone and welcome to the RURBANIVE Podcast Series, where we explore how local innovation is strengthening rural-urban connections across Europe. In today's episode, we focus on mobility and how different regions are using data, simulations and real-life experience to rethink how people move between rural and urban areas. I'm joined by two rural-urban enablers, RUEs, working on mobility from different perspectives. Elena, working with the smart ecosystem in e-Trikala, and Joachim from the Innovation Campus in Lemgo. Welcome to our podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, to begin, I'd like you to introduce yourself and understand the context in each of your regions. So, let's begin with you, Elena.
Hello, thank you for organizing this. So, I'm Elena Patatouka. I'm a senior project manager at e-Trikala. e-Trikala is the municipal agency of the municipality of Trikala in Greece. We are responsible for implementing innovation projects, either local or European ones, on different aspects and thematic topics such as mobility, energy, e-governance, health, etc. So all is an interconnected portfolio of research projects trying to boost innovation and digitalization in the city of Trikala in order to improve people's life. Trikala is currently also part of the EU mission on smart cities and climate neutral cities, one of the 112 cities that are part of the mission. So we are also trying to reach climate neutrality and collect data and foster new behavior and lifestyles in the city.
Trikala are also described as a smart city, Elena. So I would like to ask, how does this rebuild on existing technology rather than starting from scratch?
Yes, right now Trikala is indeed described as a smart city. So we are in the process of digitalization and automation, several features of our everyday life. We have a portfolio of different projects that are working together, hand in hand also with different levels. For example, the local authorities, the local ecosystem, the regional level, but also the national and the European level. We are also implementing a strategic plan right now, which is supported by the government, that is making smart different kind of applications within Trikala. So it is also on joining powers, having best practices from other cities and sharing it with Trikala, but also exporting what we are implementing in the innovation projects. So everything goes together right now, and we are wishing that we will have more and more smart application infrastructure for the citizens.
Joining forces is really important. And now to you, Joachim, how does working within an innovation campus shape the way you approach mobility challenges?
Yeah, thank you. I'm Joachim Höper. I'm the managing director of the Innovation Campus Lemgo. It's a non-government association in Germany. And we have a campus with about 7,000 people on it, students, pupils, researchers, and some startups and companies. And we are working with the University of Westfalen-Lippe of Applied Science and the Fraunhofer Research Institute together on some projects. So there we are working on mobility, on intelligent automation, health, and some other things. And we have the right infrastructure for working on mobility. We are very open-minded, and we are always looking how can we use mobility in a rural area, and what's the point to bring people together to use smart solutions?
And what would you say are the key mobility challenges you are trying to solve?
Yeah, we are living in a very rural situation. The next city is Bielefeld. It's about 25-30 kilometers. And there we have a train, and this train comes just one time per hour. We have bus lines that is normally very good, but it has gaps in the evening and on the weekend. And even for our international students, they are living sometimes in Bielefeld. It's not so easy to come to the campus when the train is not reliable. And when you come together with other students on weekend, on campus life, and the bus don't drive back to the next city, it's not so good. So we are talking a lot about this. And in the rural area, many people are using their own car. Parking is for free at the campus, so it's not convenient to use other alternatives.
I see these are some real obstacles in everyday life of the people and the students and citizens as well. And Elena, what are the key challenges you're trying to solve in the Trikala case?
Yes, so some similar to what Joachim has referred, some that are differentiated. I would say one key challenge is the most important, the car dependency that is high in the city of Trikala, even if it is a small city of 80,000 citizens approximately and 130,000 including the regional area. Still the car is the most favorable option to move within the city, leading to congestion, to environmental problems, and economic impacts as well. A second point that I would like to mention is also the peri-urban areas and the rural areas that are underserved in terms of mobility. So some areas are not well served in terms of public transportation during some hours per day, afternoon, for example, in the evening or at night time. So the car is the only option again. And then intermodality, so the different infrastructure choices have to be improved. For example, the train has to be improved and be safe, but also all the different intercity connections by bus and also within the city, it has to be improved and provide better and more options for the citizens. And the third challenge that I would like to mention is how to work together with this local ecosystem, with different social groups, with different stakeholders, and not work in silos anymore, to work within different public authorities and have a different culture and system thinking, let's say, in order to improve urban mobility context.
I see you both mentioned many times the car dependence of the citizens, which is a reality, and I will come back to this later. But first, Elena, I would like to address a question to you, because you are using simulation, and I think that it's really interesting to describe how do simulations really translate into actual decisions for the municipality of Trikala.
So yes, right now within the RURBANIVE project, but also within the city's goal, it is to collect different kind of data on mobility, among other data sets. So in terms of mobility, we are collecting data from the public transportation. We are collecting data from the municipal electric biking system, which is new to the city, sharing biking system, plus traffic flows within the city on the car flows. So different kind of data sets, plus environmental data that we are collecting in order to monitor the public spaces or the municipal buildings is being collected to the municipality. And based on all this data, that is more and more now a big amount, we are trying to use it through simulations to make some realistic scenarios and to improve the bus lines and all the service provider solutions to the city. Yeah.
So you're extracting some results from these simulations, and you're trying to see what works best in real life. So a question that comes in my mind is if you ever find these results challenge assumptions you had before.
Yes, this is what I would like to also mention. Thank you for the question. It is very important that we collect all this amount of data right now, and plus we make some qualitative analysis with citizens that maybe we discuss later on. So based on these scenarios that we are built on the simulations, we are trying to improve our decision making based on an evidence-based logic, and not as it was in the past, only by the experts designing without having all these different kind of data sets in their knowledge. So the municipality is trying to improve the local policy making, for example, to have a sustainable urban mobility plan that is revised occasionally and based on real scenarios that are operational right now and are evidence-based. Yep.
Okay, so we talked a lot about infrastructure, but mobility is something more than this. It also has to do with behavior, and you also mentioned before the car dependency of the people. I would like to ask, what have you learned in general about how people move, especially in terms of the dependence on private cars? Joachim?
Yeah. It's very simple. If you have a car, you use it. So in our region, many families or households, they have 2 cars, or maybe when their grandparents living, young pupil or student have a 3rd car. And so when you have this, you use it. And a car is more than transportation. It's your place for where you put your luggage. It's a place where you can make your phone calls. It's a place where you pick up your children. You listen to music. It's your own living room for some people. So, and it's very hard to go on these habits and to talk about alternatives.
I think that we all understand what you mean, Joachim. When you own a car, you use the car. It's the me time and the different tasks that you do with it, and it's really difficult to switch to a more sustainable choice. And Elena, what have you learned about how people move in the case of Trikala as well?
Actually, also in Greece, car dependency is very high, as we also find out through the breakdown in the Sustainable Urban Mobility Plan, but also through different data sets analysis. One thing is also that cycling is an option in Trikala, so people do cycle, and yes, exactly. But still, for rural areas, peri-urban areas, the car is the first choice, but also for people living in the urban context. What I would like to mention is that for the car is that the municipality is working towards 2 directions. One is through workshops, events, to change a little bit this culture-oriented scheme, so to promote the alternatives, as Joachim mentioned, for the alternatives. So people have to know about the alternatives and be aware. And then second, that the municipality is trying to build also infrastructure in terms of cycling lanes, or provide municipal shared biking system and other options in order to really support this change. Yep.
And I would like to ask now about inclusiveness. Let's say in the case of Lemgo, how do you address inclusiveness, that everyone can access the solutions that you design?
Yeah. On the Innovation Campus Lemgo, we have a special school for children with physical or intellectual disabilities, and they have an own pick-up service from door to door to get the pupils from their home to the campus. So that's that problem is solved, we can say. We have other options for people who are working on the university or at other institutes. When you have a physical disability, there are some parking places right in front of the building, so that you can go with your car near to the building and you have not walk a long way. So that's solved too.
So there's accessibility.
Yeah.
Okay. And Elena?
We are trying to work with the people, so and not for them. So we are trying to collect their needs through different methodologies. First of all, to work with surveys, but also on workshops and also interviews. We are working with different kind of groups. For example, the elderly people, the youth, different social groups, different income groups, immigrants, etc., so that we are more inclusive. The services that we design are referring to as many citizens as possible and taking into account their needs.
Okay, that's really important for all these, let's say, solutions to be inclusive, especially nowadays. And we all know that this kind of work depends on more than just technology. It needs different stakeholders to take part in order to bring it to life. So how are these stakeholders, like citizens, operators, or local authorities as well, involved in shaping your approaches? Elena, let's begin with you.
Yes, so in the context of RURBANIVE, for example, we have organized some local workshops. In these workshops, we have worked with all this local ecosystem, as you mentioned, so also the municipality and the local authorities, but also the different citizens' representatives, or industrial actors, academic actors, institutions that support us. So let's say different parts of the society that can express the needs, that can design technological tools, but not technological tools that will remain unused, technological tools that will be operational. So we are trying through these co-creational workshops to have inclusivity, to achieve inclusivity, and to really respond on the gaps and challenges that exist right now. And be inclusive within the local ecosystem. We also have Gizemi as an innovation and entrepreneurial hub, so for some local startups and young people that are now getting into the market. We are also inviting startups, so we are also inviting the public and the private sector. And this is becoming more and more active. So to activate the community is very important for us.
So let's say these are the good angels that you have by your side in order to implement all these technologies, and this is really important. And in Lemgo, Joachim, how are all these different stakeholders engaged?
Yeah. A big value of the RURBANIVE project is that we can make workshops and bring all the stakeholders together. We had 2 workshops, the first one on public transport and the second one on bicycle, come with your bike to the campus. And it was very interesting because we had some people from the city staff, from transport planning. We had the cycling experts from the town of Lemgo and the district of Lemgo. We had smart city experts, people from the university, and even in our last workshop we had the leader of the police station in Lemgo on safety reasons and security on traffic situations. And it was very good. We had very good response even from these people, that they get in contact with students and with pupils. Let me give you one example. The managing directors from the Stadtbus Lemgo and the bus company from the district of Lippe, they came to me after the workshop and they said they were very happy to have a situation where they could talk directly to students, and they are telling them in very open words what's good and what's not so good. And they said, I don't have the chance to get so direct response from my target group. So it was a very good situation, bring these stakeholders together.
I'm really happy about what you described, that different type of stakeholders are engaging with the solutions and they're expressing their interest. And to be honest, the reason that we wanted this podcast to be with both of you is that you're working in quite different contexts. A Greek smart city and German Innovation Campus Lemgo. So, to what extent do you think that your approaches can be transferred to different regions, to different areas? Because knowledge sharing is really important in such cases. Elena, would you like to begin first?
Yes, so we are two different cities, one located in Greece, as you mentioned, Trikala and Lemgo in Germany. We have different challenges, but also common challenges, similar challenges, as we analyzed before. We have some common methodology in RURBANIVE project, so the two workshops were built in the same format, on the same topics, public transportation, cycling safety, inviting local stakeholders. So it is also about sharing experiences between the two cities. We also used the XR tools, the XR experience, the augmented reality tools, which was something very innovative for both cities. So we could find some similar solutions, but also solutions that work only in one of the two cities. We are very willing to learn from other cities, as this is also about sharing, as you mentioned, and also export what will be happening in RURBANIVE within these tools and these co-creational methodologies, working with all these stakeholders to other cities that could also move towards this way, but also in every local case is different, so to localize it, adjust it, and use another format. But it's a best case scenario for us, some of these methodologies to be showcased, and also to show what hasn't worked really with citizens or what has worked very well. So all this is a process.
And maybe other regions can copy it and make also some improvements and
Exactly.
a better, let's say, version of it.
Yep.
And in Lemgo, the approaches of Lemgo, Joachim, how do you see them be transferred in the future?
Lemgo is a city with 40,000 people living there. We have the Innovation Campus, and even Lemgo is a smart city with some projects in this area. And I think it's important to look on cities with nearly the same population number, and you have to look how is the infrastructure situation with public transport. So then you can maybe transfer what we learned and what we learned even from Trikala. Mm-hmm. And maybe when we go to other countries in same regions, there's maybe one difference, because Germany is a very automotive country. We have many famous automotive brands, so the Germans are very involved in driving their own cars, and so it's a very strong habit. And maybe when you have regions where the people are learned to other modal situations, then maybe you have to find some differences. Yeah.
So you already learned from the Trikala case,
a little
right?
bit, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
That's really nice. And one final question to both of you: how and where do you see this work going next? Elena, would you like to begin?
Yeah, so actually for the future, we are really interested in, after the life cycle of the project, to have something that will remain within the city methodologies. So how we work with on urban mobility, how we analyze the data sets, how do we work with the citizens and with the stakeholders, how do we include them. So to have some lessons learned that will be useful for our case and for other cities as well, as we mentioned, to try to export and showcase and share all these experiences. So one thing is on the methodologies and the co-creational, that we would like to have a continuity in that and a structured way of approaching this topic. And then also on the technological tools, on the data that we are collecting and the simulations, to build something that is solid and operational and that will improve accessibility, that will build inclusivity and will reduce, let's say, mobility poverty. So the areas, as I mentioned, that are not very well served, to have more data, more choices, and be able to move more flexibly and with more alternatives. So I would say that these are the two things that we would like to promote, one on the social aspects and one on the alternatives, the technology that we'll use for the citizens after the life cycle of the project. Yep.
And we wish you achieve this in the sustainability plan of the project after the project finishes. And in Lemgo, Joachim, where do you see your work going next?
Yeah, digital tools can help to make your daily routines visible, how you use mobility. But I think in the end, it's not just about technology, because you have to look about the habits you have, what is your daily routine. And when you use technology, it has to be integrated. So when we use in the project an app for a special situation, we have a special context, but afterwards we have to look that it's come together with other apps people are using. So in the end, it's not just about technology, it's about the habits the people have, and to find the right situation for talking about change your habits.
Mm-hmm. We wish the same to you as well, Joachim, to achieve all of this after the project finishes in the sustainability plan. I found this discussion really interesting, and I hope our audience find it interesting as well, because we saw how different approaches can complement each other in shaping the future of mobility during RURBANIVE and other initiatives. Elena, Joachim, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Panagiotis.
Yeah.
Thank you for this discussion.
And thank you for listening. Stay tuned for more stories from across Europe, where our partners are rethinking the way regions connect and function.